Bill, you win the game of the decade at Baylor last Saturday, and you're now sitting atop the polls, atop every bracketology seed list, 13-game winning streak, potentially the number one overall seed in the NCAA Tournament, which a lot of folks don't know gets to pick where it goes in the first and second weekends. Have you been studying your roadmaps?
Well, first of all, the game of a decade was maybe a little bit of a stretch, although it was a great game against and two really good teams playing in it. But I haven't studied it much at all. I think there is a little bit of a strategy to it, but I'll leave that up to my administration more so than anyone to kind of figure it out. But you think the natural path would be to go through Indy because it's a little bit closer than Houston, but I really don't know. And there's a long ways to go before, we would have a chance to lay claim to a one seed, let alone the one overall seed, because there's several schools right there with us that could lay claim to that right now as well.
Bill, it was the game of the decade because it's a new decade and it was the biggest game so far. So we'll let you catch up.
You got me already.
And certainly a lot of folks are looking at the possibility of two Big 12 teams as number one seeds. Certainly Baylor, I'm sure, would like the Houston path. I wonder if there's any conference or league influence in that kind of decision-making.
I would think not, but then again, I don't know if there is. I assume my athletic director would be in communication with the Big 12 if that was the case. But I can't believe that to be true. And to be real candid with you, anybody that is a one seed, you may have a little bit of preference. But the bottom line is it's a great honor to be picked as one of the four best teams in the country at that stage. But after the seedings come out and the pairings come out, it means absolutely nothing. So all you've done is put yourself in what should be a favorable position, but you still got to go play.
Bill, at what point, if any, did you realize this team could be one of your special ones?
I thought that we could be good. I thought other people valued our team maybe more than what I thought they deserved to be valued early in the season and maybe even the preseason. And then you start realizing it as you coach them, that I think a coach becomes proud of his team and starts understanding his team when he knows what to expect most night in and night outs. And I think that we've kind of grown to know that. You're usually going to get a pretty good effort defensively. We're usually going to be pretty competitive. We rebound the ball at a decent clip. I mean, there's some things that go into it that I think has kind of been the foundation on why we won, and then when we make shots, I think we can look pretty good and be pretty dangerous. But I would say in the last month, after we lost to Baylor, I thought this team could continue to get better and better and have a chance at the end to be one of the better teams.
Bill, you talked about how special it is to be a one seed, and there's probably no one in college basketball who has more recent experience at that than you. If it happens, it'll be your 9th number one seed in 17 years, which I think is one of the most unheralded accomplishments in the sport. What are your thoughts about that, and how do you reflect on it?
Well, I think it does mean something at that point. It means that we're one of the best four teams in the country at the end of the regular season. And I guess everybody would strive to be that, but it doesn't mean anything after that. And so you'd like to be able to sell winning to recruits and all the things, and you grow to the point where you expect to be in favorable positions, but the seed is way overrated after you get it, and then of course now it's about matchups and going out and playing, and that's something that we can certainly do a better job of is actually playing to that one seed level. We've done it quite a bit, but not all the time. That's something that we've got to improve on.
Yeah, Bill, it could be a curse, I suppose, because you have knuckleheads like me going on TV and saying, hey, these guys are the Atlanta Braves of college basketball. They only win in the regular season. But isn't it better, if you follow that analogy, to be excellent over 162 games than over, I don't know, 3 or 4?
Yeah, well, that's true. But still, people don't remember the 162. They remember 3 or 4. And I'll take that as a compliment because I actually am a baseball fan and I followed baseball quite closely for a long period of time. But the bottom line is, we've been to 3 Final Fours and we've won it once. I will tell you this, that's not enough. But on the flip side, there's been a lot of big games we played in the tournament. I think we've been to something like 10 Elite Eights since we've been here, something like that, or 10 overall. And so we played in some pretty games of high magnitude. We just got to do better in that one game. And if we get a chance to play in it again this year, we got to take advantage of it. And certainly we haven't done that near enough.
Now, you're a smart guy. You have a great staff. They're always scheduling well. Your metrics are terrific. There must be somebody in Lawrence who pays attention to bracketology. Are you the guy? Do the players pay attention? Or do they think this is just all load of hooey?
Well, I actually think our players know who Joe Lunardi is without question.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, but as far as paying attention, I think fans do more than even the coaches do. I really don't. I'll be honest, the last couple of weeks I've looked at some different projections, but I think the longer I've been in the business, you kind of learn, don't waste your time on things you can't control and things that'll change daily depending on things out of your control. So I don't spend much time with it. I will say this, though. I would, Larry Keating, and you probably know Larry. Mm-hmm. Larry did our schedule for years. He's retired now. He has done a good job scheduling and putting us against foes that certainly add to the metrics on a consistent basis. So that's one thing we have done. We've been pretty good at scheduling difficult schedule.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app, and live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.